when Lazarus was sick, I imagine Mary being happy and full of cheer, full of hope. Hang on, Lazarus. Brother, Jesus is on his way. We said, word, he's coming. And when he gets here, everything is going to be all right. Yeah. Time for breakfast, and Jesus still has not shown up. Right. And so Lazarus calls him down to Nazareth, and he is looking definitely evil. Yes. Mary is still sitting there. Just hold on. Just hold on. Just hold on. Jesus is coming. More time progresses, and Lazarus dies. Yes. And so now, Mary has gone from a place of hope to feeling bad for herself. I knew God was going to come. I knew Jesus was going to come. I knew he was going to heal my brother. But he didn't do it. And am I thinking about the relationship I thought that I had with him? Mm-hmm. Were we really as close as I thought we were? I mean, I sent word. And the messages came back and said they told him.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I still don't see Jesus. And so now, Mary is feeling bad. Because not only does she feel like she has been failed by the Lord, but she is also dealing with the realization of her brother is dead. Yeah. And so now, Mary has her friends who are around her. And they are trying to console her. And they are consoling her by agreeing with the crazy things that Mary is saying. Oh, if only God has been here, something different would have happened. Oh, you're right, Mary. You're right. And Jesus just would have been here. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry you lost your brother. Oh, Mary, I am sorry. I am so sorry. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. Oh, I'm so sorry. I mean, y'all sitting there, but you know you got those friends. The moment you're going through something, they are there. Not to be against what you were going through, but to go through with you. I know you just lost your job. I'm so sorry. I know you got the bills and everything to do in the house and like you're going to be foreclosed on. I'm so sorry. If only I can help you. Come here, give me a hug. You feel better if you cry. Just let it out. Just let it out. Come on. Come on. Come on. We got it. Come on. I got it. And I'm hesitant to talk about what I'm going because during the time that I am grieving, what I do not need is somebody who is going to be sympathetic and put themselves in the shoes that I am in and start grieving with me. But I need somebody who knows a word who can uplift my spirit. We must choose our friends wisely. I don't speak much to others about my relationship with my wife. And the reason why I don't speak much about others, now, I don't mean that I don't share things that happen in our relationship. My wife gets a promotion, the Lord blessed us in this way. You know what, we both have a revelation, we came to this agreement. You know what? We had a disagreement, but the Lord came in and fixed it, and we were able to see the differences, and now we are even stronger. I will share those things. But the specifics about what me and my wife are going through, I am very hesitant, and there is only one or maybe two people that I share what is going on in my relationship with. Because at the time that I am going through something, I need somebody who is not going to agree with me, but who can speak life into it. That's right. If I have lost hope, I do not need other people who have lost hope standing beside me. But as my ship is going down, we must choose our friends wisely. Lazarus is dead. And Jesus began to pray. Now, I want you to see the relationship between Jesus and God. And it starts with the 41st verse. Then they took away the stone from the place where the dead man was lying. And Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank you that you have heard me. And I know that you always hear me. But because of the people who are standing by, I said this, that they may believe that you sent me. Jesus already knew that his prayer was answered. Jesus already, because of the relationship between Jesus and God, he already knew that before I even asked what I'm about to ask you, Father, you have already done it. But it's those that were sitting around him that Jesus had to make such a declaration. Saints, how many of y'all know when we are going through something, many times we already have the victory. But when we are going through something, so often we look at it as this is what I am going through, but not as this is God being glorified.
Help us.
They were looking at the death of Lazarus as if there was no other end. Jesus even came to them and said, I will raise him again. But because of their own unfaith, their own disbelief, it was hard for them to fathom the Lord working in such a way. And so, saints, I ask you, when we are dealing and when we are having our relationship with the Lord, where is your belief in him? How strong are your bonds with God? That when the Lord speaks something into your life, it's going to come to pass. No matter how much time has passed, it's going to come to pass. The miracle, which is just a physical manifestation of the word that the Lord had already spoke into your life, has no choice but to come to pass. That's right. All preachers, but it's dependent upon us on how we go through it. Lazarus is dead. And if I may read for you out of the Webster's Dictionary, the definition of being dead. Dead, deprived of life, no longer alive, having the appearance of death, numb, very tired, not reacting, burned out, and cold, not naturally having life, no longer producing or functioning, no longer in use or effect. Lazarus was dead. The only thing that we know about Lazarus was that before his death, he had been sick. All right. During that time, Lazarus very well may have sinned, may have fallen out. We don't know where Lazarus had fallen in his walk with the Lord. But what we do know is that as a result of his sickness, Lazarus died. Yes. Many of us are dead. We're just not buried down in the grave.
Amen.
I can speak from first-hand experience being in a place where you are no longer able to produce, where you are no longer able to interact with all of those other things and other people that are around you. Yes, you are separated from God. Yes, you are separated from life. Yes. You all look at me today and you see Brother Ewing, son, brother, friend. But before I stood up at this podium, all right, there was a time where my name was James. Mm-hmm. That was the nickname that was given to me. All right, James. All right, man. Underneath the name of James, there were many things that I did. You see a upright man standing before you now that you can trust your kids with, but there was a time when Brother Ewing was a drug dealer. There was a time where Brother Ewing was a murderer. There was a time where Brother Ewing was a whore. Yeah. There was a time where Brother Ewing was a liar. There was a time where Brother Ewing was evil. I must say one thing. I have never, with my own hands, taken anyone else's life. But I am, or I was, a murderer. Because the actions that I did have a result of somebody possibly dying. I was also a murderer because I promised. You see, the moment that my heart opened up to the thought of possibly killing someone else, I had already committed that sin. So in that time, I became a murderer. All right, preacher. And because of the sin that I had committed, and because of the non-existent relationship that I had with the Lord, I got further and further and further away from my calling. And I was no longer able to produce. Yes. I was in a state of suspended animation. I didn't go any further forward, and there was no way I could go back. But I was just there. And I was in a place where I pushed everyone away from me. Don't talk to me. Don't try to bring me. Don't smile in my direction. Don't come my way. Don't look at me. Yeah, I want nothing to do with you. I had no joy. I could not be around my family and just enjoy the time with them because I was separated. And the further I was separated, the more and more I found myself trying to commit sin in order to fit the sin that I was already in. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Let me give you an example. I'm tired of being by myself. I'm tired of being alone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out and I'm going to find me a friend. Someone who is pleasing to the eye, who I can spend my time with. Because if I can wrap my mind and my life around someone else, then I no longer have to face the fact that I'm here by myself feeling the things that I'm feeling. And the closer I got to somebody else, the more I just felt empty on the inside. There was nothing that I could offer them. There was nothing that they could offer me. But in the intense moments, there's kids around, so I'm not going to speak bluntly, but in the intense moments of a man being next to a woman, and you can do certain things so that you no longer feel that loneliness, and it produces a false sense of love. And so now I've found somebody who loves me, but yet they don't love me. They don't even know me, because I don't even know myself. Yes. But it helps me from not feeling this emptiness on the inside. Right? I guarantee you can go down to any corner store, any backyard barbecue, any little social event where our people do that, and you will find that one brother who still reminisces about yesterday. Oh man, you remember back when we went to Hardy Elementary, man? I was the man back then. You remember that, man? Man, I was the man back then. And you remember that Howard High School? Right here, I played football. And nobody could stop me, man. Everybody just wanted to talk to me. Everybody just wanted to follow me. Look back then, man, I was the man. And now he's a man. Reflecting on the child, reflecting back when he was a child, and the time that he was a man. But when you ask them, so what you got going for you now? I ain't really doing I live, you know, I still live with my mom. But I'm helping, you know, I'm helping out, you know, she needs some help, you know. Before I moved there, she was paying the bills and had her own food, and she could go around traveling and do all types of things. But now that she's here and I'm taking care of her, you know, she still pays the bills and buys food. But I'm helping. The brother has gotten into a place where he is now dead, no longer able to produce anything. And is reminiscent of the time when he was able to produce. The wages of sin is death. And we need to take that for what it is. Not only will the physical man die, but the spiritual man will be dead as well. All right. Where you're sitting there and you feel no connection to the word that has gone before you. Where you are no longer able to be in a state where you can produce anything. We look out and we see so many of our brothers and our sisters who are able to have so many children out of wedlock. And when you talk to them, it's because they're dead on the inside, but they found one thing that they're still able to produce. So as long as I can get with this person and produce something, there is evidence that I am still living. But Saints, how many of y'all know that is not evidence of living? There are dead plants that can still produce bad fruits. And I'm a country boy, and the terminology is escaping me right now. But there is a process for a farmer. When the farmer is cultivating land, and it's bad, and the farmer wants to use that land to grow something on it, what the farmer first has to do is destroy and burn up all of the dead things that are sitting on that land. Right. So that the product afterwards, they can now use that land to produce something that is fruitful. Thanks for we are going through something. We don't want to just do things so that we can produce, but we want to be able to produce good fruit. And in order for us to produce good fruits, there's one key factor, there's one key element, there's one key person that has to be in the equation. The Lord. Our bodies are made of clay. So just break it down, our bodies are made of dirt. And in order for something good to grow in that dirt, a seed has to be planted on the inside. So that it may cultivate, so that it may grow, so that it may spring out and produce life. But the land cannot do it by itself. You need water. The only other thing you need is water. Saints, if in our own bodies we are to produce something that is good, then would it only make sense that we get the best water? That we get the living water? That we get that which has never failed and can produce whatever it is in, whatever is in its will to produce in us? All right. Right? Let us get back to a place where we are producing. Let us get back to a place where we are no longer dead and separate. And the only way that we can get there is through the word of our Lord and Savior. All right? In the story, Jesus called Lazarus to come out. And when Lazarus came out, he was still wrapped up in his grave. And he told the people, go and unbind him. Right? when our brothers and sisters come out,
Yes.
for those of you who have a relationship with God, for those of you who can remember when you was in a place where you weren't, where you were supposed to be, please do not hold over someone else's head what they used to be.
Yes.
Remove those clothing over there. All right? Remove the clothing of who they were to accept them for who they are now in Christ. And when you come out, don't you dare put those clothing back on from when you were dead. You can no longer look like you did when you were no longer producing. There are things you're going to have to give up. That's right. Oh, yeah. Right. But I promise you won't make it. I'm getting ready to get to my feet, but there's one last point that I must make. Yes, sir. If you turn over to the 12th chapter, starting with verse 9. Now a great many of the Jews knew that he was there, and that they came not for Jesus' sake only, but that they might also see Lazarus, whom he had raised from the dead. But the chief priests plotted to put Lazarus to death also, because on account of him, many of the Jews went away and believed in Jesus. Oh, yeah. Saints, your coming out is not for your glory, but for the glory of God. Oh, yeah. It's not so you can see where I came from, see what I've done for myself, but that God may be glorified in what you went through. Yes. Because Lazarus had a relationship with Jesus. Yes. Jesus had to allow for Lazarus to have died. And then wait, not for the glory of Lazarus, but for his glory, the glory of the Father who raised him from the dead. Yes. But be wary, because people will try, just as the Jews came. That's right. People will try and put God's glory on you. That's right. Oh. They didn't come just to see what Jesus had done, but they came also to see Lazarus, because it was hard for them to believe that Lazarus was yet living yet again. Saints, be weary, because they will come. And they will try to put God's glory on something that you have done. But hold fast and remember that it is God that receives all glory. Hold strong and keep to your relationship